I'm gonna go back. That's the job that I want. That if I could have the guy that got to shoot the roof with a shotgun to make it collapse more so they can fix it. That's the job I want. Shooting stadium roofs with a shotgun. That's what I want. Brian, what was your best and worst things of the Metrodome?
Worst was the trough.
Oh, yeah, the trough by far.
Oh, good old memories as a kid trying to force the pee out.
Yeah, well, some 45-year-old dad with a beer gut who's 6 Bud Lights in is
probably more awkward. It's probably more awkward for them.
Or,
these fucking kids looking at their dicks, just looking down a line. Just look left, look right.
All you see is a bunch of pasty white bratwurst hanging out.
There's another food ruined.
Mike, I could...
That's my favorite part of the Metrodome.
Was staring at penis?
The troughs.
Staring at penis. Because were you guys the type that like just pissed anywhere, or did you try to melt the ice?
No, because you
I tried to melt the ice.
Yeah, you always try to melt the ice.
Oh, there was no ice. There was no ice in there.
You
Try to
know,
move
those
the
are
puck.
those are the guys who are like, you can't let transgender people use a different bathroom. It's like, if there was a fucking trough, you'd be peeing next to a 5-year-old. You fucking...
Since when was this sounded like Macho Man Randy Savage right now? You can't let...
Oh yeah.
Listen here, brother. You can't let a transgender person share a bathroom with you, but I will stand next to a 4-year-old.
Oh my god, let's stop it right there.
I think we should isolate that audio with no context.
That's gonna be our. I was talking to Erik earlier that we're gonna start tweeting out like highlight clips as teasers for the show.
Yeah, that one's gonna be in there.
That one, that's 53 minutes in, James.
Hey, thank you for not talking over that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was great. I love it. I didn't know Macho Man Randy Savage was sitting in my living room right now. That's
back from the dead.
Yeah.
So by far the best part of the Metrodome, getting blown out of the Metrodome when you're leaving.
Oh yeah, the pressure difference, and you go through the door and you get
like,
blown out. Bitch. Yeah. No, I like the
Dome Dogs.
The $8 GA seats was the best deal in baseball anywhere. You can sit in left or right field for $8, no assigned seats, first come first serve. That was the best deal in baseball. What's shitty was the Metrodome was built for like football, so all the seats are like pointed towards the center.
Multi-purpose, but yeah.
Yeah, they're pointed towards the center of the field.
Baseball,
yeah, so you're trying to watch a baseball game and you gotta like turn 90 degrees in your seat just to look at home plate. That was bad. I saw Kurt Schilling pitch there as a Red Sox. I saw Jared Weaver pitch there when he was actually good for the Angels. So there's that.
That is a big contrast of talent.
I got my first
Mark McGuire.
Yeah, that was back then.
Cal Ripken Jr.
I got my
Ken Griffey Jr. It's not Ken Griffey Jr. and Alex Rodriguez in the Mariners.
I got my first
Cal Ripken Jr. his last year.
My first baseball was from Torrey Hunter there. So, yeah, there you go. Fucking Metrodome. Metrodome right now, it was so shitty.
And I was at the Prince Theater inside the park home run game.
The Metrodome right now was so shitty, but it's been so long. It's been, 9 or 10, 11 years now?
11.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 2010 was the first target field?
So, I mean, it's been long enough.
Remember the Vikings still play.
Yeah, I mean, but it's been long enough where it's kind of like nostalgic for us, you know? I mean, all those, like, the Corey Koski and the Doug Mankiewicz and the Christian Guzman and the Jock Jones teams. And
Matt Lawton.
God, what Johan Santana and Joe Nathan.
How did you forget that name?
We met him at Target Field. It was great.
I don't know, the smells of the Metrodome were just felt like baseball.
Yeah, and the dollar Dome Dogs on Wednesdays.
Beer spilled all over the concrete.
I think probably the moment that will stand out for everybody was as far as dollar a dog night goes, the Chuck Knobloch.
Yeah, the Chuck Knobloch when he came back after saying he didn't want to be with the Twins and fuck Minnesota and all this shit. And then he shows up with the Yankees, and everybody starts throwing
Playing
dollar hot
left field,
dogs
and
at
it was
him.
dollar a dog night, and that people kept going back for
That's why the Twins now have a 4-dog limit per person at a time. You can only get 4 at a time. So, because they don't want you throwing hot dogs at somebody in left field.
That's Chuck Knobloch anymore.
Who's more hated, Knobloch or Przinsky as a Twins fan? I'd say Przinsky
maybe
for our age group.
If you ask the recent ones, it will be Przinsky, but
Yeah.
people don't realize how hated Knobloch was.
Yeah,
I'd say our age group, is AJ Przinsky, just because he's just got that douchey attitude.
personally, it was
He's
Knobloch.
now that he's retired and he's kind of doing all that, he's kind of, he's warmed up a little bit to me, a little in that sense, since he's not, that douchebag player anymore. He's just a douchebag hater.
Oh, I saw a video of him. He was in downtown Minneapolis when he was still a White Sox, and somebody filmed him like walking down the street and saw him, and it was like, AJ, you suck. And he got into like an almost fist fight with this fan because some fan said you suck. What do you expect?
I mean,
the guy's a douche.
It's a catch-22. Like, you shouldn't just be reacting to every fan, but also, come on, fan.
You're supposed to be a professional. And then the fan, you're being a douche too, but come on. Searching for a lawsuit, really.
It was like the time where James drunkenly shouted at a former Minnesota Twins left fielder in the game, and the Twins left fielder heard him and gave him the nastiest look I'd ever seen.
So best story was we're sitting in our favorite section to sit in is 126, third base line, and who is it? Jason.
And why do we sit there, James?
Because the Minnesota beer stand is at the top of that that section. Mike's banging his head, and not the cute one. So who was it? Jason Kubel was playing left field. He almost botched an easy fly ball, and I yelled at him.
I think he did botch it.
Yeah, and I yelled at
him.
But
how everybody's like shouting or something. When you shouted this, it got quiet. It was kind of like that moment when a room gets quiet and you just shout something like you shouldn't have shouted.
Yeah, it's out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, 28,000 people suddenly get quiet, and I yell, if you're going to stand out in left field, at least pretend you know what you're doing. And you shouted like you get paid how many millions to drop that effing ball? And he knew exactly who said it, where it came from. We made eye contact for a minimum of 30 seconds. And he gave me one thing I will say is that it probably didn't help the case that the guy standing next to you was pointing directly at you as if to say he said it. Thanks again, Brian. But it
would have been great video to see you get your ass kicked by a Major League Baseball player.
The guy in Happy Gilmore, Happy's boss, that got the nail gun to the head.
Yep.
And was like, I'll meet you in the parking lot, like to Shooter McGavin. That's the look I got from Jason Kubel, was I'm going to find out where you live and beat the shit out of you and your whole family. Like, that was the look I got from him.
The craziest part is like when I was like a couple years before I'd gone to Twins Fest and actually met, like Jason Kubel a little bit, and I actually had like, a brief 2 or 3 minute conversation or something. Seemed like a nice guy. Granted, 2 or 3 minutes, anybody can seem like a nice guy.
Especially when they're paying you for autographs. So.
Yeah, he was only like a $5 pay. So.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
All right, moving on to listener-suggested topics. I have one listener-suggested topic that I remember to write down. The other ones were PNC related and political, so I decided to skip that because that's not what we do here. Favorite historical event and why? Out of mankind, not even mankind, just world history. So even before man, if you believe
whoever took a loaf of bread and a knife and sliced it.
No, for Brian, it's whoever decided to put wheat, barley, and hops into some water and let it ferment and then cool it down and drink it.
That too.
Mike, your favorite historical event?
Or whoever's
got
a potato.
Yeah, you Irishman. Whoever's got their first favorite historical event and why? I'll tell you mine. When George Washington and his army crossed the Delaware and defeated not the Haitians. I almost said Haitians. Haiti wasn't even the thing that, I don't think. What is the Hessians? They defeated the Hessians. And it was same thing. And it was on Christmas morning. They decided, hey, fuck you. We're going to start shooting you guys and being dicks. That is like the America thing is, Merry Christmas. Here's a bullet to your face for our independence. I love it.
How my family reunions go.
What, you cross the Delaware River when it's slightly frozen and start shooting German contract army members in the face?
How do you celebrate Christmas?
Usually with presents and a little bit of depression, some ham.
God, you're lame.
Mike, Eric, anything coming to mind?
Shit, no.
Come on, think harder.
I don't think about this shit.
You know how many fucking events happen in the past? All
like
of the
all
good
of them,
ones.
all of them.
Pick one.
Yeah, every event.
How about Sherman's March to the Sea, where he just said, fuck you, Ulysses S. Grant. I'm going to do whatever I want, and he burned the whole South.
It's Pirates of the Caribbean. That's
that one. That's a movie.
Lord of the Rings was good.
Never seen it. That's also a movie.
Well, I mean, technically.
Technically, it was a book first.
Well, no, but like when it came out, that was an event in history.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here we go with Mike and his technicalities.
Yeah.
Technically. Yeah, okay. I see you. I know how you are.
I guess the one that piques my interest the most would be the Battle of Normandy.
Oh, yeah, D-Day. Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan.
Sure.
Shaving Ryan's privates.
I've seen that too.
Too many times. Too many times.
Not
no,
on purpose.
D-Day. Yeah, if I could be the fly on the wall of the Normandy beaches, I don't think there was any walls out there though. That would be interesting to watch.
I'm sure there was one, but it got hit with a lot of bullets.
Bunkers.
If you were a fly,
bunkers
have walls.
Yeah.
If you were a fly, would you survive?
Probably.
Do you feel like you'd survive there, or get shot?
No.
What do flies live off of? Decaying matter.
And what were the beaches of
That's
Normandy
probably
full
one
of?
cocky fly if
Decaying
he
matter.
lived.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just following like a unit in World War II would be cool as shit. Just from the North Africa to Sicily to Italy to France and to Belgium and Germany. That'd be cool as shit.
Just crazy to think how young they actually were. Like,
yeah, they were
most
younger
of these
than us.
soldiers were 18, 19, 20.
Yeah. Some of them 16, 17, lying about their age, getting in.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Just knowing that they probably aren't going to survive.
Fucking great.
Well, this took a depressing turn.
World War II vets.
Thank you, Eric.
It's definitely different than nowadays where everybody... I mean, we don't have backbones in society today, so...
Avoids military service whenever they can, yeah. I get you. Sorry, that was really loud. All right, moving on. Science news. I got some science, and it's also news for your asses.
Did it come from Tesla?
No. This one comes from Iceland. Y'all hear about this Viking? Y'all hear about this volcano that's erupting? This Viking is erupting all over Iceland.
Oh, that's been a story, too.
No, this volcano is erupting. First time in 800 years that this volcano has been erupting. Kind of caught scientists by surprise, even though it's been throwing some seismic activity, some earthquakes going on for the last 3 weeks, but they weren't expecting an eruption out of it. It's not really like ashy right now. It's not putting a lot of ash into the atmosphere. It's just, it has heavy flow. So it's got two sides of the volcano has been dormant for 800 years, and it's just flowing lava like a mofo. And I believe this is the Weather Channel story about it. There's no danger to property or large population centers. Started erupting 8:45 p.m. local time on Friday. The flow is about 550 yards. So 550 yards from the center of the volcano. The volcano is about 20 miles outside of the capital of Iceland, Reykjavik. The Reykjavik International Airport was briefly closed Friday night while scientists assessed the situation and confirmed that the eruption would not interfere with air travel. Mike, you were in the airline industry back when this happened. Do you remember the 2010 Icelandic volcano eruption that shut